So another place I've walked into, I didn't show you the reception bit, which is obviously right there, is a museum. Another museum, I think. This is the second museum, but this is a museum about the literature of Ireland, could pretty much say. And it basically talks about, you know, their writers who've, you know, given such impact and influence in today's modern language within English, for example, and you could say as well through the Irish Gaelic, the Gaelic Irish as well, because if you didn't know, the Gaelic Irish is one of the oldest languages in the world. Probably, we're saying, comes third after Greek and Latin. So, yeah, John, so I'm in the Museum of Literature in Ireland, and he said to me, above this, on this wall, or whatever you want to call it, he said there's pictures of all the great Irish literatures that had an influence within not just Irish literature, but also English, the English language and literature. And I just wanted to get your explanation on someone you said was quite overlooked, that people, especially even maybe some Islanders, don't even know about. And you said that was one being of Bram Stoker.
So to give you a quick rundown, what we have here is 100 of the greatest Irish writers of the past 100 years.
Yeah.
Now UCD still own this building, but not all of these people went to UCD. And many of these people had enormous influence not only in Ireland but also abroad. A lot of them, at least two of them are buried in Paris. Oscar Wilde over there and Samuel Beckett. There are 4 Nobel laureates, Nobel Prize winners of the Prize for Literature. But there are a few people here who are often mistaken as English. I beg your pardon, I've spoken to an enormous amount of people, for example, who believe one of my favourites over here is, as you say, Bram Stoker. Now, he was born in Clontarf, to the north of the city of Dublin, and worked as a theatre manager. And when he was 50 years old, he wrote Dracula. One of the most important horror stories ever written. I mean, there are 2 movies out now that are based on his book Dracula, and that's just in the past month. So Renfield and The Last Voyage of the Demeter are both based on his work. And there are people who think that he's very, very English. He wrote an awful lot of Dracula when he was in Yorkshire, in a place called Whitby, when he was on holiday, and that's where he got a lot of his inspiration. But he is one of the most influential horror writers ever. And he cribbed an awful lot of his details from a fellow called Sheridan Le Fanu, who 20 years earlier had written a book called Carmilla. So Dublin's contribution to Gothic horror is just one part of its contribution to larger literature. And I think if you even take a look, even the smallest look into some of the people around here, you'll find a very similar story.